going on? What's going on, Coach Tyreek? I hope all is well. Happy Saturday to you. Just as always, Q&As. Also just talking for the next, say, 10 minutes. So if you have any questions about tumbling, please feel free to drop it down below. It could be really basic. Forward roll, backwards roll, front walkover, back walkover, cartwheels, round offs. Maybe a forward roll, step out, cartwheel, back walkover, like some transition like that for level 1 skills. Level 2, round handsprings, standing handsprings, back walkover handspring, like things like those. Level 3, aerials, round handspring tucks. Level 4, layouts. Possibly working on standing 2, 5 fulls, 6 doubles, whatever it is that you're working on. Feel free to drop it down below. If not, as always, I will talk for the next, I would say, 9 minutes. So once again, it can be any type of skill, or if you're a coach wanting to know a question, feel free to drop it as well too. I hope everybody's day is going all right, going good. Once again, any questions? But if not, I'm gonna talk about I'll say today will be about mental blocks. Today will be a mental block day. Alrighty, well, I was dealing with this athlete. I would say it was on Thursday, and just going through some skills with the athletes and seeing exactly what they're working on and what they're pushing for. And she messed up her wrist, and she was telling me that did a back handspring a couple months back. And any questions? If you have any questions, drop it on below. If not, I'm just gonna talk about mental blocks. If you don't have any questions, I'm just talking about once again mental blocks. But yeah, messed up her wrist doing a back handspring, and fast forward until now, I was asking her to do it pretty much by herself, and she's like, well, I can't, because she said she messed her wrist up and whatnot. But I was just asking her, okay, hey, like you have the back handspring, where exactly do you think you do the back handspring at? And she was like, and I said, well, let's pick a surface, let's pick a mat that we can do the skill on. And she said, okay, I can do it at the end of the tumble track on the red mat. So she was knocking out, I would say, knock out like 4 or 5 back handsprings by herself. I would say those back handsprings were one of the best back hands I've seen in a while. If you have any questions about tumbling, you just drop it down below. If not, I'm just talking about mental blocks. So yeah, had the most back handspring I've seen in a while. And so okay, well, we talked for a little bit, and I said, okay, well, it's time to bring this handspring down to the floor. And she was just like, well, can't do it. And I said, why not? You did a very beautiful back handspring on the red mat. Let's take it down to the floor now. And then I asked her what surface is hard to jump on. Doing the back handspring on the red surface or doing on the spring floor. And she obviously said doing a back handspring on the spring floor would be easier. But she was like, okay, can you still spot me? Spotted her anyway, and we got some out on the floor. But the problem with this whole thing is that we always believe or think that when we do a skill coming back, that we're gonna re-injure that same part of our body, which would be her wrist. And what I told her is, okay, what have you been doing throughout these months? What have you been doing throughout these weeks to get this to go back on the floor? And she was pretty much quiet about that whole thing. But what we can do to overcome things like a situation like this would be to have a plan every day. If you mess your wrist up, definitely see your doctor and definitely go see your physical therapist. But on top of that, what I always tell my athletes to do when if they're feeling sore in a certain part of the body, I would always say ice. Ice for about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. That's always a solid time for icing. So 8 to 10. And if you're not taking care of your body and you're putting so much on it when you're tumbling, then you're definitely going to injure that same part of your body. So if you're a tumbler, I would always say heat and ice, heat before, ice after. If you're if you have a really sore, or if you're dealing with a sore part of your body, but also if you can take care of your body when you're on the floor and off the floor, it will definitely avoid these injuries that we go throughout our span or years of doing this sport. But aside from that, if the goal is to avoid issues like this, issues like a mental block, or I call it road bumps, or just being confused, I always take my athletes through a bunch of drills. So relearn the same thing, doing the basic, doing the fundamentals. So jump backs, the jump backs, knowing how to push off the hands, going back to the backwards roll. If you have any questions about tumbling, please feel free to drop it down below. If not, I'll be talking for the next 3 minutes. But yeah, just relearn the same thing you did before. We always expect to get certain skills on the floor after we got hurt. So when you get hurt and then you come back 2 or 3 weeks later, we expect to get these skills by getting inspired again. But no, like, your body forgot how to do certain things. And I would say do what you can. So if you have a back handspring, and you're getting spotted every time, sometimes that works, but that's not how I do things. I always have my athletes do certain drills, and we're also working on building our strength back up to where we were at before, and then also exceeding those limits. So go back to the back walkover, go back to the front walkover, work on your handstands, like things like those, because if we can get our bodies strong enough, then it will, one, it will prevent injuries. Two, it's going to build our confidence up. And three, it's just muscle memory. So getting stronger will always make the flip easier. Doing the drills will put us in the right shapes and will put us from harm's way. So that's pretty much it with mental blocks on back handsprings. Basics, knowing the fundamentals, making your body stronger, and also just taking care of your body. I'm a firm believer in all those things, because I know for myself, when I was doing this sport, I would always start practice and not stretch, and leave practice and not stretch, and then I was never taking care of my body. And then when I was pretty much done with the sport, those last 2 years, when I was still doing tumbling or doing acrobats, my body was feeling terrible. Could barely move my shoulders the way I wanted to, could barely move the way I wanted to. So if you are a tumbler, or if you're doing anything that involves outside of tumbling, like maybe playing basketball or volleyball, whatever you're doing, stretching is key. Stretching, and also taking care of your body, heating, icing, things like those. It may be annoying, but it will definitely help out. Maja, what's going on? Hello. Hope all is well. Happy Saturday to you. If you have any questions about tumbling, feel free to ask. I'll be on it for another, I would say, minutes, or maybe two. It depends on if there's more questions being asked. Just talked about mental blocks for back handspring. I pretty much I look at every skill pretty much the same way in terms of mental blocks. What exactly are you going through? Let's talk about it. Shh, shh. Let's talk about it, and we'll go from there. What's going on? So if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'm gonna hop off for tonight. Well, all right. Well, that's pretty much it for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same thing, late night talks, just talking about tumbling. And yeah, have a nice night. Bye bye.